Obodo fam, show some love to Auntie B. Hit, like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we're here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today. Take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve.
Hey guys, good evening. Welcome back to our channel. Hey Obodo fam, good evening. Welcome back. How is everyone doing today? I hope you're well. Happy weekend. Today is Saturday and it's the 6th day of September 2022. I hope we are doing okay. Welcome. Please give us a thumbs up before we get into the story. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. We have quite a lot to discuss tonight. Quite a lot to cover. So give us the privilege of subscription. If you haven't subscribed, it's completely free of charge. YouTube subscription is free. You don't pay. I think they should change it to follow, because if it's follow, people will be more in tuned. People will be more in tuned to do that. But welcome. I appreciate you guys so much. Tonight we want to talk about something that is very, very serious. Unfortunately, there's been an increase on femicide, especially in Africa, and we need to highlight these issues because as we are talking now, there's a woman out there who is in a domestic violence situation, and they keep telling her, pray, change your behavior, or all sorts of advice. The last thing they will ever tell her is to safeguard her life. So I've come to the conclusion that in Africa, they would rather see you buy. They'll prefer you to buy than to advise you to get to safety. So this happened in Kenya, and I think we covered one of them before. One of these stories we've covered, I think, is the one of Agnes. We covered the one of Agnes Tirop, who was on live by her husband back in 2021. In the past 3 years, these 3 women who are, athletes, they are world-renowned athletes, have been buyed or unlived by their intimate partner. We said it, they are elite, they call them elite female athletes. Elite female athletes, that's what they are. So I'm going to take my time to talk about each of them respectively, because these stories are very, very important. Very, very. Please give us a thumbs up as you are joining. We are talking about women, and increasingly it seems like the more the world is getting more tougher in terms of economic meltdown, or whatever you want to call it, austerity, hardship, the more women are increasingly at risk. Women. And I like what somebody was saying. I think Pinkpe posted something in the US group this evening and was saying that this one is not even a matter of gender now. Everybody, because you know what they say, that evil prevail when good people keep silence. When you keep silence, I know a lot of men are affected by these things, but they never speak because they are doing brotherhood. But I tell you, if you have a sister, you have a daughter, then you better start speaking out, because this is not a gender one now we're talking about. We are talking about survivor of the weaker gender now. And the rate at which women are being unlived all over Africa is definitely on the increase. Every other day, every other day. Within 3 years, this elite female athlete in Kenya alone, and this is just the only ones that we know about. The only reason why these ones are making the rounds is because of the international media, because they are well known. The three of them are Olympians. As a matter of fact, the 3-year-old Rebecca that we're talking about tonight was recently in Paris. She was in the Paris Olympics just a few weeks ago. Yeah. So if the gender that makes up half of the population of this world is at risk, and very high risk at that matter of being unalived, and nobody's talking about it, everybody is keeping quiet. As long as it don't concern me, as long as it's not my family, it's not my friend. We have this very passive very passive behavior regarding domestic violence. As long as it doesn't concern you, why do you need to speak about it? The government, all the ancestral government that we have in all across Africa, from Kenya to Nigeria, name it, they are as useless as anything you can think of. They are of no good to the country. They have no good to women. Because when I talk a little bit more about Rebecca's situation, you will know that she has a long history of domestic violence with this Mongo Park that finally unalived her. Yeah. All of them. Yeah. Elite athletes, world renowned, celebrated across the world. You know how they say that a prophet has honor except in his own town? Yeah, I think that's the situation of these women. Do you know what it means to run in the Olympics? Do you know what it means to win an Olympic medal for any track and field? Do you know what it means to run a marathon and be one of the top people? It's not a joke. It's a level of dedication and discipline and training over the years before you can even compete in your home country and win, before you can even think of going abroad to go and represent a country. So I'm going to start with, because the one that happened in 2021 is Agnes Tirop. And I believe we covered it here. I don't know if you can remember. We did cover it here where we talked about Agnes. Now, Agnes was only 25 years old. As a matter of fact, she was a world record holder and had just won. Let me show you the Mongo Park down on her lifetime. Yeah, she was a world record holder. When I say that anytime these issues are going to happen, when these matters are going to happen, is usually somebody within their circle, someone who knows you. Yes, an intimate partner. They are usually the one. It's not somebody from outside. It's not a stranger. It's usually somebody that you've been intimate, someone you slept with, you probably have children with. 25 years old Agnes, yeah, mother of one, was unalived by her husband, Ibrahim Rotich is called, in 2021. He was trying to run away from the country, from Kenya. And incidentally, all this happened in the same region in Kenya. Yeah, from my quick research, because CNN did a very, very deep report on this. Yeah. And they are all in the same region, because I think there is an area there in Kenya where these women can train. So that's why they are all in that same area. There's it's a place that they can train, because, as I said, it's not you just wake up one day and say, "Oh, I'm going to run marathon," or "I'm going to go and do track and field." No, there's an area there. So they are all in the same area. So Agnes Tirop, yeah, was in that same area. It's called E10. That's the name of the town. It's a town in Kenya. I think that's where they have their training area. These women are high achieving women. Okay, because according to the reports now, the one I'm saying by CNN, they are saying that they are deliberately targeting these women. Their partners are targeting them, and they did give some reasons why. They are elite runners, female runners in Kenya. Yeah, and it's usually issue of money is one of the reasons. Yeah, because by the time we talk about Rebecca, you will see that there was some misunderstanding about land. She built a house in a land, and the boyfriend was dragging the land with her, wanted to take the land away from her, according to the father. So, in October of 2021, Agnes was found. She was a rising star, long distance runner. She was found inside her home with numerous wounds, and she was wearing her running gear, a black sport bra and shorts, like she was going for a training session when her husband attacked her. Yeah. Shortly after that, 6 months later, another athlete in Kenya, yeah, suffered the same fate. Okay, this is the second one, and I tell you till today, they've not found this man. He's an Ethiopian. You can see him there. His name is Eskinda something something Foley. And this one's name, this athlete's name, her name is the female athlete. Her name is Damaris Mutua. She was only 28 years old, and that was her boyfriend who unalived her. You guys look at it be looking at these women very well. It's important for us to this because you know a friend, or you know a friend of a friend, or a sister of a sister who is currently going through domestic violence, and somebody somewhere is telling them, stay and pray, don't worry, we change, there's nothing out there, oh, manage the one you have. Because as I always say, that when you are told to manage a domestic violence relationship or marriage, that person wants to buy you ni. Go see. It's when Yoruba says "Sùúrù tó lọ́jọ́," it's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time. It will happen. Sooner or later it will. So this is Mutua Damaris. She was unalived in 2022, and she was only 28 years old by her Ethiopian boyfriend. As I speak to you, this man has still not been found because he escaped. So you're telling me between Kenya and Ethiopia, they can't find this man. They don't have any kind of working agreement with Interpol or whatever organization that oversees international people who commit crime and flee and run away to another country. Unalived for nothing, buried and left the family and her daughter, because she has I think she has, yeah, her family and friends are left with the pieces. He's gone. Oh, he's gone. That was the second one that happened back in 2022. That's why I said that within 3 years. So if it was a country where human lives was important, as you know, Kenya is not different from in terms of policies and legislation and patriarchy. There's no difference. Africa is Africa. If it was a country or a continent that even cares about the well-being of the citizen, by now they will be looking at this very critically, that we have a problem. How do we address it? What do we do? They start having conversations around safety and safeguarding. But no, it's not to be. Oh, no. So I understand that when Agnes's own happened, they now had they created a charity where they were now creating education around, how female athletes are at risk, and having these conversations, how to protect them, talking to men and things like that. Because Agnes's husband too was trying to flee. He was trying to run away from Kenya. They caught him in Mombasa, as he was trying to leave the country. He was trying to run. Guess what happened? Do you know that when the husband was arrested, somebody that is being charged with unaliving his wife, do you know that they let him go on bail? He was released on bail. Yes. Are you shocked? Because the level of crime, when you're thinking of what his crime or what the allegation against him, then you will be shocked that they granted him bail. So they caught him when he was trying to flee. Of course, he pleaded not guilty. But earlier on, he had admitted, oh, he called her family and was crying and asking that God should forgive him for what he has done before he tried to run. But when they arrested him, he denied it and said that he's not guilty. Yeah, this is what is happening. Women that are trying to advance their life, putting effort into, training. And I'm not talking about moi training. If you have ever seen an athlete, the way their dedication to that training is not a joke. It's not a joke. So we heard about the Rebecca's case a few days ago. She's from Uganda, but she was training in Kenya, right? Let me show you the picture of Rebecca. This is Rebecca and the Mongo Park. This is the Mongo Park that unalived her. Can you see him? I'm going to talk about the quality of men that these people are choosing, first of all. I will talk about it later on, but let me talk a little bit about, let me tell you a little bit about Rebecca. Rebecca was 33 years old. Okay. And like I said, she's from Uganda, but was living in Kenya because her father said that she wanted to live close to that area because she wanted to have access to the training area. Because long distance training is endurance, is a long distance race is endurance race. So they have an area there. So that's why she moved there. Her father said that she bought a land in a place called Unzua and built a house to be near the hub of the long distance training. But the boyfriend was fighting her over the land. His name is Joseph. That's the father. That's Rebecca's father. So the boyfriend was fighting her over the land. I don't understand. Is it that, they bought the land together, or he wanted her to give her the land? I don't understand what he was fighting for. Or his money was in the land? I don't know. But they said that he went to her house when, in the night, she had come back from church in the presence of her daughter and decided to pour whatever it is. I don't know what he poured on her, but it was something that could, catch fire. And they said that she had 80% burns by the time they took her to hospital. And she did not survive it. Yeah. Days later, they said her internal organs collapsed. Yeah. Another loss of a woman with great potential. You know, the one that is, what is so painful about, I mean, all of them are painful, but Rebecca was just in Paris the other day. Yes. Yes, I'm choosing my words very carefully, of course. She was just in Paris in the Olympics the other day. Yeah. Moninola Love said, that's why it's important to be with a man on your level. Dating African men who have nothing going for themselves is a recipe for disaster. They can't take it. Don't do it. Yeah. Completely spot on, Monilola. Because if you look at all these men here, All these men, all these Mongo Parks, the three of them, you will know that there's something not quite right about them. Number one is their level of, I don't think they are any, the way they will be rating, they rate women, they say on a 1 to 10, what are you? I think these women are like 10 or 9. The worst you can score them based on the level of what they were doing. The worst you can score them is 8. They were athletes, elite athletes, they call them female athletes. But this men, these Mongo Parks that they were with, were not people that were in that category at all. And that's why women, God, may God help us. Especially this one of the one that's on Unalived, Rebecca. Let me show you, because I was googling it and trying to catch up on, just get some information about the situation before I come on the live stream. I kid you not, when I saw the picture of the man, I'm like, this one, he reminded me of Fulani headsmen, honestly. You know those Fulani headsmen that used to carry that go around in the bushes in Nigeria with their heads. That's what he reminded me of. Just look at him. Ah, be careful of people that have nothing to lose. Oh, yeah. People that have nothing to lose. Look, be careful of them. Look at his eyes. Look at the background where that picture is taken. It's a mud house. So when somebody is down on their luck, completely down on their luck, you think they're gonna be happy? You flying all over the world, going to Paris to do Olympics, running. Your picture is on in all the papers. Let me tell you a little bit more about Rebecca. Yeah, women who have things going for them, they have dreams. She was in Paris Olympics just a few weeks ago. Oh my shit. Just like that. Just like that. So the report says that wealth and fame makes young female runners more vulnerable. Wealth, owo, kudi, money, and fame. Two things that can make you stand out, because when you are famous, it increases your chances of even creating wealth for yourself. Remember that all these athletes, they are influencers as well. They attract a lot of, businesses and collaborations from both local and international companies. Guys, please give us a thumbs up. If you have a sister, you have a mother, and you have a daughter, then you need to take this seriously. We're not even just talking about this is the rise of femicide. It's too much now. So it's not about gender we're talking about now, those nonsense gender conversations about men versus women. We are talking about women being an endangered, very endangered species now. All these 3 women that I'm showing you were working to make their mark as elite runners. 3 of them. 25 to 20, between 25 to 33 years old. Yeah? Remember what they said? Fame and wealth. So they were more wealthy, likely more wealthier than those partners. This one of Rebecca's own, I don't need anybody to tell me, because looking at that man that is looking like a Fulani, those aboki that we use as gatesmen in Nigeria. That's how he looks. And I'm wondering, why is this beautiful, accomplished? What are you doing with this kind of now love? Is it love? His eyes are red like somebody that just finished smoking. He has stains all over his eyes, and everything about him stinks of poverty. I'm not saying we should look down on anybody, but when you are very, very high achieving as a woman, be careful. Because when you start to play in the mud with somebody that has nothing to lose, they will drag you in the mud. Envy will enter. Jealousy will enter. So you are flying up to Paris. Where was this guy when she was flying up to Paris? I'm sure he's somewhere in Kenya. It's not got much going on. We hear about what's happening in Kenya at the moment in terms of the economy. The other day there was serious riots. For weeks the country was on a standstill because of the policies of the government and everything. So even my auntie Jockey was telling me that Kenya, things are so hard now. All across Africa, things are hard. But this is a woman that went to Paris Olympics. She finished as a 44th woman in the marathon in the Paris Olympics. Agnes, on the other hand, had just returned from a race in Switzerland. And she had broken the women's 100-kilometer record in Germany a month before she was unalived. Can you see? Agnes broke the record of 10 kilometers in Germany. And she had just gone to compete in another competition. So they are flying from one part of the world to the other. And then they'll go back home to Kenya to go and meet this Olori Buruku so-called husband or boyfriend who've got nothing going in their life. Of course, envy will enter. You are not respecting me again. You just went to Switzerland. You went to Germany. So now you are not respecting me again. The other one, yeah, Damaris had just placed third. She was placed third at a half marathon in Angola days before she was unalived. She was a bronze medalist at the 2010 Singapore Youth Olympics. So that area called E10 and its surrounding regions it has training grounds. Yeah, let me show you. Let me remove the picture so you can see the training ground. Can you see? That's the training ground. So that's the reason why they are all living in that area, so that they can train. So they live in that area so that they can do their long distance training and everything. They say the area is suitable for their running and training due to its crisp air and high altitude. And when they win all these medals, they go and compete in all this. Of course, they get, brand sponsorship, stipends, performance bonuses, sometimes, paid travel expenses for races, resources that allows runners to participate in international competition. That's the area there. You can see. Waking up every day, going to run. Only God knows how many kilometers they are doing. And I tell you, athletes don't skip a day. I used to belong to a volleyball club when I was in uni back in the day. My brother, it was not a joke. Every evening after lecture, you see kitty, 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 kitty. You have to go for training. They don't skip one day. If you don't have a strong level of discipline and determination, you cannot be an athlete. Say you now go to there and say, tomorrow, let me rest now. Like some of us that register for gym, you say, let me rest tomorrow. Next tomorrow I will go. Nah, you can't. Consistency is key. Every single day you train, whether you have competition or not. Imagine these women, all the sweats, the training, the energy, doing everything they can to be able to compete. There are countries across the world, that will do anything to have the kind of athletes, especially female athletes that we have in Africa, especially Kenya. Kenya and all these East African countries are known for long distance. Yeah, they will celebrate them. Their countries will celebrate them. But in Africa, what do we do? What do we do in Africa? Rebecca's father said that she has a long history of DV with that man. Police didn't do anything. The police refused to do anything. No wonder it happened eventually. So this is the third one in 3 years. One happened in 2021, in 2022, and now 2024. What are they going to do about it? It's the same. Oh, everybody will come and talk and talk and talk and talk. Oh, this, that, until the next one. That's why I say domestic violence ruins lives. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a mixture of wealth, potential, even if they don't have that much, but at least they are making good money. There's fame, and then come and add patriarchy culture, where a man is expected to be the breadwinner. It leaves young, ambitious women prey to unscrupulous men trying to get their hands on their future earnings, or vulnerable to intimate partners who wish to control them. Yeah. 25 years old, 28 years old, and 33 years old. Young women, all young women. And one of the one person that was speaking in a charity that was set up to honor Agnes said, "We society don't protect these women. We don't even give them training to advocate for themselves. We just expect them to run and break records. Where is the outrage? Where is the anger?" Yeah, she was speaking from an organization that provides refuge to victims of DV in Kenya. So now what they are trying to do is to bring in experts. They are trying to bring in experts to create awareness, because it starts from legislation first of all. So the legislation should have been there so that this man that by what's his name, Agnes, will not be released on bail for a crime like that. It sends the wrong message. Yeah, the wrong message. So she said that as part of the educational efforts, it's called Agnes. Her surname is Tirop. So Tirop's Angel, that's charity, is called, brings in experts to help young runners live well-rounded lives and provide them with tips on financial literacy, investments, and relationship red flags, which is what we talk about here all the time. But they acknowledge that there is a major cultural shift that is needed in this region for real change to happen. So they are working with schools to educate children on different forms of DV and to ensure that future generations of runners learn critical lessons at a young age. And he went on to say that DV in the region is deeply rooted in patriarchy. Hello? Of course it is. It is rooted in patriarchy, where the gender that you're born with gives you automatic superiority over the other gender. You had no choice about the gender. Oh. You were born, you were born. No, but none of us was asked. Because I'm sure if we were asked, most people were, if you know that you are going to land in Kenya, Uganda, Africa, Ghana, you will say, I want to be a man. Because it is men that are respected. It's men that have the upper hand. You see how we talk about white privilege. There's something called male privilege in Africa. Being born a man, which is something that you have no control over, is just by stroke of accident that you saw yourself with a different genitals when you are born, it automatically gives you privilege. Women are seen as objects. What is your role as a woman? Is to take care of the family, sleep with your husband, cook and clean, and then shut up and just deal with whatever happens in the home. Yeah. Dr. Chika says, we have a culture that raises boys to believe that as a boy or man, they should be more prosperous. When that is not the case, the boys or men will use DV to show that they are still in charge. God bless you. Yeah. So our brothers and us, I mean, anybody that grows up in Africa, I don't know if it's changed now. I believe it's still the same. You know, it starts from the home. It starts from the way your parents even treat boys and girls. Not in all homes, but majority. Where they always make boys, your brothers, feel like they are more superior. Why are they more superior than you? Just because they are born with a different genital. So you are meant to be at home to serve the men, and the men can just go and come as they like. That's why they grow up, and some of them feel like in Nigeria, you hear people say ordinary woman. Where did that come from? When you've heard it, I'm sure most of you here would have heard that word, the ordinary one. Obìnrin lásán lásán. What does that mean? Any human being is ordinary. Come to the abroad in the West here, where people value not only human life but animal life. You will see that even dog is not ordinary, because we have people that live their wealth. They will everything they have to their dog. They will look after a dog as if it's not an animal. So how can you say a human being that is made in the image and likeness of God is ordinary? It's patriarchy. Patriarchy. That's why you'll be saying obìnrin lásán lásán. Because, I mean, yes, when you are born as a man or born as a woman, we all have different assignments. We all have different roles. Men and women, as Allah will say, are not the same. Yes, we are not the same, but it doesn't mean that one should be more important than the other. When you see these women, the mistake they made was that most of them, especially these Kenyan athletes that we're talking about, and indeed a lot of women in Africa, always dating down. They date down, they date men that do not befit them. Men who will be angry at your success. It's not all men like that. There are men that, they are the ones that will ginger their. And how many of you have seen Fumilayo, Olufumilayo Ransom Kuti, that movie of Fela's mother on Prime Video? You will see that the activism that she did it was her father that started teaching her how to, push against the system, how to advocate, how to voice out, how to push the boundaries. I'm talking about in the 50s and 60s, oh, not today, oh. Then she was very fortunate to marry a man who was not threatened by how assertive she was. Her husband, Ransom, what's his name again? Is it Ransom Kuti? The man, Kuti, that married her. I don't know his first name. He was the one that was pushing her, pushing her, pushing her. In fact, I didn't know the story of that woman until I watched that Fumilayo Ransom Kuti. You see the way the husband was pushing her. She will go out, oh, she will have meetings with different women. Everything she did was because she had the support of her husband. But it's not all men that will allow that. In Africa, a lot of men feel very threatened with that kind of a woman. How dare you? You've not finished making my food. You've not taken care of your children. You have 4 children. You are going to go and fight for market women. After all, you're a market woman. But we're talking about her today. You need to go and see that movie and tell me that you are not moved. Yes, they will remember you for what you did, not because you were married, you have children, or you were not married. Whatever role you have, we care so much about all this. Let me use the word that comes to my mouth. Olukoye and some kuti. God bless you, Jare. Eshe, thank you, Bimi. There are men like that, but they are far and in between. What am I saying? I'm saying that if these poor women had men like that, who also, remember, the man too was educated. He was doing well for himself. So again, when you are doing better, it's not a lot of African men that can take it. And that's why you have people like Sisi here always discouraging that struggle love. because they know what comes with it. You might say, I want to build him. After all fingers are not equal. Let me help him. Yeah. Mrs. Say in East Africa, women are brought up to be very hardworking and learn to survive on their own. Many East African women aren't afraid to be single and independent. Yeah. But these ones were not. They were not. And that's why they are not here anymore. Unfortunately, very young on in life. Do you see their age? Their ages is between 25 and 33. They are young. Most girls these days are 33 are not even married or thinking about babies yet. Dr. Chika said parents in Africa need to do more in raising boys. A lot of things I see on social media today say a lot about how boys are raised in Africa. A stitch in time saves nine. Yeah, we have to do better. We have to do better. Vivi said, Auntie B, I spring from a very good knowledge of this region as I attended both my high school and uni education there. Most of these ladies and gents athletes are brought up deep in the village. And this is ruining this and the running and this running. Yeah, continue. The running is what builds and lifts them up away from the village life. Hence, why many of these ladies date and marry their fellow village boys and girls. Yeah. So now that they were brought up in the village, yeah, I can see that because if you look at that Mongo Park that deleted Rebecca, when I saw the picture, I was like, wow, wow. I had to pause. I was like, Sissy, if you checked your DM, I sent it to you. I was like, what is this one? This one? It looks like Aboki Gatesman. Why is she with someone like this? Yeah, so I see what you mean, Vivi, that they are marrying fellow villagers like them. But if they have education, some form of education and exposure, which they are, being an athlete will give them exposure to go abroad. They need to start looking outside their villages for partners. They can't be thinking small like that. Hey, I must marry my villager. I must marry because all these village men have nothing to offer them. They've got nothing to offer them. Yeah. Nothing, absolutely nothing. I looked at him, I'm like, wow, this one. Ah. And I was making a joke with Sisi. I said, no wonder Nigerian men are in high demand, very high demand. Because this one, okay. Yeah. If you see him the way he was looking, no, you see, some people, their poverty wickedness is added to their poverty. Wickedness is added to it. They need to start looking outside their village. Oh. There's a global world now. You can't say you don't know. There's social media. You can, you don't need to have all the education in this world, but exposure is very, very important. Why need to stop settling with all these men that have got nothing to offer them? There's nothing, they bring nothing but pain. Yeah, honestly, they do. So let's start talking about safeguarding. I'm very, very big on safeguarding. You guys know that already. Yeah. Because at this point now, the government cannot protect women. They are unwilling to protect women because again it's patriarchy. The police will do nothing about it in Africa. In Nigeria, they will tell you go home and settle at home. Why they will even blame you for bringing your husband or boyfriend to police station. Now why you call police? So now we the women need to start empowering ourselves and looking for ways to protect us because nobody is going to protect us. That's my take. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, we need to protect ourselves. Yes, they need to upgrade both financially and upgrade, in terms of exposure. All these village men, they need to stop. There are so many men when they go to Olympics. See, the other day we were watching the Paris Olympics. I don't know what nationalities that did run. The girl finished. The husband came and proposed to her. Don't they meet people in all these competitions they go to? Why must you marry somebody from your village? Somebody that has got nothing to offer you. Ordinary land that probably costs next to nothing is what this man on Unalived Rebecca for. Ladies, We need a lot of education. That's why it starts by us always calling these things out. You know somebody that knows somebody that is in a situation like this. So give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it because you can potentially be saving a life. You see, somebody was saying to me on Instagram, and to be, I'm angry. I'm very angry. Why is this happening? Look at all the potentials. These women have just been, deprived of life. They are deprived. Some of them are the glory of their family. They are the ones that will take their family out of poverty, out of that village life. And that has been snuffed out of them because of a Mongo Park. And I said to that sister, I said, you know what? Yes, I was angry. 4 years ago, I was angry. 3 years ago, I was angry. At this point, I feel helpless. I'm no longer angry. I'm just jaded and I feel very helpless. My helplessness comes from the fact that I cannot do more to protect these women. I cannot do more. Because this should not be happening. These are world renowned. If I show you if I open Rebecca's, let me open it and show you guys. Please give us a thumbs up. If you want to join the conversation, jump into the studio. Let me open, what's it called? Wikipedia and show you Rebecca's her record of all the track and field and all the competitions she's participated in. She has a whole list that I cannot even, if I start mentioning them, we're not going to leave here today when they talk about her career. Yeah. And then one Mongo Park in one village that doesn't even deserve them because they are jealous or they cannot, whatever it is that they are, I don't even care. We shouldn't make excuses for them. They are just cowards. These are cowards. They are not men enough. A real man is that, those men that they take pride in seeing their women succeed, not the ones that are threatened and fighting over land that they built house on, and you unalived her as if, look at, can you see? That is Rebecca's. She's been competing on a national level since 2012. All the championship you can think of. Look at that. Just look at that. You can Google her if you want to know. World Championship, World 10K, Bangalore, 2019 World Athletics Championship in Doha, 2020 Tokyo Olympics, 5,000 meter events, 10,000 kilometer race, name it. She's been everywhere. 2015 IAAF World Cross Country Championship, 2014 World Championship. She's been everywhere. Oh my show. And the worst part was that it happened in the presence of her child. The daughter was there. Yeah. Okay. Give us a thumbs up, guys. We women need to safeguard ourselves. We need to protect ourselves, because I don't hear any man on social media or anywhere in the world shouting, who is going to protect our sisters? Who is going to protect our daughters? But they've forgotten, every man is connected to a woman. You were born by a woman. You either have a sister or a daughter. And if you don't speak up because you think this is men versus women, sooner or later, God forbid, it will hit home. This culture of violence against women needs to stop. It is on the rise. And our government cannot do nothing. They are unwilling to do anything. The police cannot do nothing. So it rests on us now. Got to fight for ourselves. When you have nobody to fight for you, you fight for yourself. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sissy, are you there?
I'm here, and to
Hello,
be happy
darling.
Friday. About the fam, happy Friday.
Welcome.
What a topic. Oh, my heart breaks.
Yeah.
It's a heavy one. Well, my 2 cents. You know what? This topic frustrates me because, as usual, whenever we're talking about things that pertain to women, the men are ghost. the men are quiet. The men are not available. They're not as loud as they should be. And the problem is, even though we say women should advocate for other women, women should speak up for other women, and there's never going to be change when it's just women. It
Yeah.
has to come from other men.
Yeah.
Men listen to men. Men
Yes.
need to stand up and call this behavior out so
Yeah.
that and start modeling the positive masculine examples, positive relationships with women. It has to come from men. So we can do all these shows, we can say women should come out, but women, we always fall underneath men anyway. When it comes to love, when it comes to relationship, when it comes to marriage, we carry that thing on our head, right? So it has to come from men.
Why do
The
you think
men
that
have
men
to
are
come
quiet?
out.
Why do you think they are
Men
quiet,
are
Sissy?
quiet because most of them are they perpetuate a lot of this behavior, right?
No.
Or they know they have friends that perpetuate the same behavior and they don't call them out.
Somebody
They
said
have
that men.
mothers, they have sisters. They don't give a damn. They do the same things themselves. So, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating.
Wow. Yeah. There's a gender war, Dr. Chika said, against women on social media, against women. Most of the postings are so bad, and any man that speaks up gets attacked by men. Yeah. They are doing brotherhood, Abby.
The fact that if you're standing up for what's right, should it matter that somebody's attacking you? I don't understand. If I'm standing up for the truth, I'm standing up for what's just, I'm standing up for what's right. Why am I going to be upset if somebody's calling me out? That I don't give a damn about that. I'll be upset if I'm doing something and I'm not speaking my truth. And people are calling me out and I'm doing things maybe that's not the person that I'm pretending to be. If it's not my true self, right? But why are people ashamed to stand up for what's right? That's what's wrong with society. People
Yeah.
just stand back. They say, "Oh, it's not happening to me. Let me look the other way." We're never bothered because it's not happening to me. That's
Yeah.
the mindset of us as a people. And that's the
Yeah.
saddest thing about humanity. We don't have the empathy for other people until it happens to you, to your daughter, to your sister. That's when now you want everybody to be rallying around to be championing domestic violence. A lot of these
Especially
men
in
that
Africa.
yeah, a
Especially
lot
black
of these
black
men that come
communities.
out a lot of these men that come out is when their sister has been unalived, is when their mom has been unalived. Now suddenly they know about women's rights. Suddenly they want to be shouting about domestic violence and campaigning against it. But when your friend is disrespecting his girlfriend in front of you, when your friend is slapping his girlfriend, you're quiet. When your friend is talking derogatory about women in WhatsApp groups or sending derogatory face posting WhatsApp or having certain conversations on social media, you are there and you're seen and you're quiet. That's the problem. It starts from that. It starts from those grassroots. I was having a conversation with my daughter the other day, and she said something that it really got me upset. And we were talking about all this, all these young. My son's school. My son's going to secondary this year, and the school have sent all this thing about kids on TikTok, and a lot of them are watching all this Andrew Tate. Right, that man is a misogynist, and a lot of these young boys, they're picking a lot of these negative red pill narratives that's on social media. And instead of the older boys maybe around them or men in their circles, if they have men in their homes, instead of those men to say, you know what, I've heard this conversation that you're having, I need to correct that comment, or I need to correct that statement, they're chiming in and not saying nothing.
Yeah.
They're enforcing the rubbish that these young kids, impressionable kids, my son is 11. A lot of kids that age are already on TikTok watching all this red pill nonsense of these incels that are talking nasty things about women. Of
Yeah.
course, how are they going to stand up for women's rights? How are they going to stand up to protect women? It
Yeah.
starts from these conversations we need to stop, and men need to step in and start reinforcing positive stereotypes and showing young boys, because these older men, I don't have any hope for them. They're already entrenched in their negative mindset. It will be hard to condition them to come out of it. So work on the young kids, work on the young boys.
Yeah. We have to have conversations with our sons, because if you think they're not listening to this and rotate, you are wrong. They are listening. And you know why? Because it benefits them. You see
Of
why patriarchy
course,
is so hard? Patriarchy is hard to
it
fight
benefits
because
men.
it's like telling somebody to give up what benefits them. So are you going to tell me that something is sweetening me and benefit from you? Now tell me I should come and talk against it. For what now? But you've forgotten that it's going to affect your daughters.
Who are your daughters going to marry in future?
Yes.
If my little son 11 is already exposed and speaking about Andrew Tate, all this red pill, all this incel crap that's on social media, he's already plugging into that and thinking all these and then on top of that, maybe these kids don't even have men in the home. Another negative against them. Who are going to be those examples that they're going to see? Where are the positive male examples? They're getting it from Andrew Tate. They're
Even
getting
the
it from all
ones,
these people online.
let me tell you something, even the ones that have the male at home, are they having conversations with their sons? Or do they even have the men? Because remember, we are talking about this extreme patriarchy where if he already believes that this is the role of a woman or this is what a relationship or marriage should be like, how is he going to correct them when they start hearing all these extreme things? You know, the other day I was reflecting and I was thinking, African men are different from men from African, Afro-Caribbean, and African American communities. But because the world is such a global village now, everybody is coming together on social media, internet has brought, everybody together. African men all of a sudden are acting out the narrative of African American men who their experiences are completely different from African men's experience. Their narrative is they are acting out these experiences of Afro-Caribbean men who their experiences are completely different from African men. It's almost like they were looking for something
They're
and now
looking
they
for
find it.
they're looking for a WhatsApp group to join. That's what they're
Exactly.
doing.
And I'm
I don't
thinking,
know why.
in my
That
mind,
they
I'm
can't even
thinking,
relate.
Nigerian men, why are you people behaving as if you have the same experience? Like, no, not disrespect. They are our brothers. We love them, but you are not from the same background. Your experience is not their experience. So you can't come online now and you start saying, okay, women are this. Because from time immemorial, we know that African American men, a lot of them like to put women down. There's patriarchy in Africa, but we also know that AA men, they are big on that red pill and talking down, and that's why somebody was saying in the comment section. I think is who was saying in the comment section that a lot of successful black women these days, they are not looking to marry black men because it's so hard. Black men are the only men I see. I'm not saying that the other race they are perfect. However, somebody said it before. White men don't, their ego is not as fragile. They are not so threatened by women, emancipation or whatever you want to call it. They don't care. They don't care about women, being richer or being more exposed or being assertive. Some of them actually like it. But I don't know. There's something going on in this space of the internet now and social media that is like a collaboration of all these black men coming from all over the world. And their favorite subject is the black woman.
And you know why? Because whilst they're busy sitting on podcasts talking out of their ass, sorry to use that word, out of their ass, black women are equipping themselves, they're setting businesses, they're flying ahead in careers, they're the top earners. So let black men, African men, continue to sit back. That's what is eating them. The frustration and the anger in them is their lack of drive, their lack of focus. A lot of them. I love black men. I love African men. I especially love Nigerian men. So I'm not coming at men like this. I have son, right? But let's call out the BS in our community. And a lot of it is down to hate from our own black brothers. Plain and simple. They don't support black women. A lot of them. They're quiet. When we're doing things, we're striving, we're successful, the men are quiet. When there's rubbish, DNA, or this person is cheating on the husband, they're out in full force to drag you back right down. It's just their mentality. They don't want us to be ahead of them, and we are ahead of them. Sorry. Maybe if you'd get off those podcasts, maybe put yourself into a book, educate yourself, upskill yourself, you'd be doing something more constructive in our communities. But no, here we are talking about femicide because these bums are with successful women, and instead of them to use a bit of that what? A bit of the glory that these women have to equip themselves. These women, if their man said, "Oh, babe, I want to do something. I want to start business." Do you think that these women, if they're already with them, they will deny them that? They have no ambition, they have no drive. So instead of them to do things that are positive, they're seeing them as competition. They're hating, quietly hating, getting angry that these women are out there being trendsetters and trailblazers, doing amazing things in the world, and it sickens them. That's why they need to get rid of them. That's just
Hmm.
my that's just what it is. That's what it comes down to. Until black men learn to genuinely love and support black women, this will always happen. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sissy. I appreciate you. Thanks for sharing your 2 cents with us. Yeah. African, I can't say much to, men from other background, but I can only speak to African men, especially Nigerian men. You guys, I know you know better. So patriarchy has always been a thing, but majority of you Nigerian men, you are educated, you are exposed, you know better. You know better. I know that it might seem unpopular for you to, you want to do brotherhood, but we are talking about violence against a gender that equates half of the population. And you don't think this is serious? We should just keep quiet. This one will come, we'll talk about it, we'll go, it will continue. Why are you people, all of a sudden, because most of you grew up in homes where you saw, yes, there was patriarchy, but there was no hate against women. Yes, the men have their role, and the definition of masculinity back then was healthy. It didn't favor women as much, but there was not much violence like this. This one is escalate is to another level, because I grew up in that same Africa, and I can't recall seeing families or things like this happening. It wasn't rampant like this. It wasn't. Men knew their place, and they were okay to be men. It's the same nonsense that when they start talking about 50-50, all of a sudden you're asking women, what are you bringing to the table? Are you a man or you want to be a woman? Let's know. Because in the world that we live in now, it's okay to be anything you want to be. It's allowed. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired. I'm tired. Bumi, welcome, my darling. Please give us a thumbs up, guys. Welcome, welcome.
Hi,
Who is
Auntie
going to
B.
protect women? Welcome,
We
darling.
we have to protect ourselves. Obodo Farm, thank you. Auntie B, thank you for speaking on this heavy. It's so tragic. It's so sad. Like you said, you are not. I'm not angry anymore. I've passed that stage. I'm just like, how can we move on? What can we do? Um, I was watching the news, and another problem is the media. The media refused to use the right word to describe what happened. I feel that people need to know what happened, because it's not like she just passed. Something led to it. Somebody took her life. So media is also adding to it. But to answer your question directly, it's us women. We have to protect ourselves. We are our own protectors. And it starts with, it's a multi-layered problem, but it starts with putting yourself first. Be selfish. You have to be selfish. If you are not selfish, somebody will use you like a doormat. You have to be selfish. You have to think of yourself. You have to think of what you want, what's best for you, in the best and in the worst way. I don't care. That's the drastic answer that I can think of right now. We have to be selfish. We have to think of us first. Now, see this lady. I remember watching her. I watched that race because I like sports, especially the Olympics. So I remember watching her and I was rooting for her. I also remember, it's almost 2 years ago that the other lady that's 25 passed. I remember this story. I remember when it broke. I was so angry. This woman is successful at 25 and someone takes her life. This is a flimsy way to pass. Because of what? How much is land? What is land? What is these things, like flimsy ways? So we have to be selfish. You have to not settle. It doesn't matter if this person is your day one. If you see that you are moving ahead and the person is not moving or does not want to move, it's okay to let them go. You don't have to stay in the relationship. If you are in this, if even if it's not money, say for example, you are progressing your academics, you know where you want to be, and the partner that you are with, it's not willing to move, or it's not aligning with your goal, your long-term goals. My sister, move. Leave that relationship. Leave that man alone. Let him figure out his stuff. Don't say, oh, we die here. Oh, sorry, we fight here. For better for worse. It doesn't favor you at the end of the day. This is what breeds jealousy. I'm going to use this woman. I'm sorry if I mispronounce her name, but she's the
Rebecca.
no, not
Oh,
Rebecca, the black woman, the new Supreme Judge, Ketinja Brown. That
okay, in the
was,
US.
yes. And to be, if you see her husband, there was an interview that is on TikTok. Her husband was speaking about her, and he was crying. To be, he met Ketinja, George Ketinja, when they were doing on Harvard, at Harvard, when they were doing a protest. He met her, and that's how she picked interest in. We're like, who is this white man that is protesting? You know, we black people for black people. That's how their relationship and friendship started, and he's always pushing her. He said it before she even went into politics. He said that he knows that she's going to go there, and he was always propelling her that we have to move to DC, we have to do this. He was the one. She said no. He was the one pushing her. So things like this. Kamala Harris, look at her husband.
Exactly. I was
Look
gonna
at her
say that.
husband. She
If
don't
if
have
if,
two
if
heads.
I was if
Serena
she didn't
Williams.
marry a man like that, imagine if she'll be
You.
there
Serena
running for the
Williams.
highest office
Thank you,
now.
Auntie B. Serena Williams is another one. The husband will be there. If somebody speaks ill about Serena Williams, the husband will go online. The husband will throw the person. They will make t-shirts. They will do everything. Like these are men. These are men that are supportive of the women, and these women are powerful, and they understand their position. It's not just in the marriage; they understand their position in society. They understand their contribution to the female gender, to the
You know,
economy at large.
Abumi, there was a conversation once upon a time about how black African American men, once they become successful, they're always gonna marry white
Auntie
women.
B.
Hmm? I think it's time, although Ngozi already said it, a lot of black women are already doing it. I keep
Yes,
telling you, at the end of the day, maybe women too should start. That's why I'm telling this our Kenyan sisters, leave village men alone for
leave
God's
them
sake.
alone.
These men do not work. They don't deserve you.
Auntie B, do you know how hard it is to train for a marathon? I know
Mm.
that you have said it, but I have actually gone because again I like sport, so I've tried to be close to it. Do you know sometimes you want to pee, you will pee on your body because if you
The
stop,
momentum. Mhm.
if you stop, you will reduce, and they're tracking everything they put in their body. It's not like, oh, maybe 2 weeks before I can't eat swallow. They are tracking it. They are measuring per mile how their body is moving. They have to train. They have to eat it. And to be ordinary 10K. 10K, because I volunteer a lot for races, for heart and strokes, for blood donation. I know how these people, I volunteer, I go and see them how they are training for work of hope. So you have a woman against everything in Africa. She's hustling. She goes to the Olympics, the highest stage, the highest sporting event in the world. She goes there. She's successful, and she comes back. This of you to support her. Instead, people are wicked. No, and you see, we also need to learn to take people at their first word. When somebody shows you their true color, we don't have the luxury to be doubting. We don't have the luxury to be saying he will change. If he does not change right now, you leave him or separate from him and wait. Let him change. If you can, you don't stay in the same space. We have to learn to take people at face value. Women, we don't have the strength. By design, we are not strong enough to fight. We don't have society on our side. So what are you playing for with yourself for? It's painful. It's painful. These young women, these young talents. Huh? No, no, no. It's really painful. And I feel like also women from the beginning, one of the issues is that we are timid. African women, we are timid. That is why maybe we don't go to Olympics, the highest stage, and we don't explore the options that are given to us. At Olympics, If I'm there and I'm dating one village boy, the village boy should not even remember my name again. I have gone with one person. Seriously, Auntie B.
Honestly, because a whole lot of human beings attend that Olympics. It's not just the athletes alone. What are you still going back to this? When I saw his picture, I was like, is this the man? This is the man. This one. He looks like a bookie in a gate somewhere in Nigeria that he has one small supermarket in that their gatehouse. Just look at his eyes. Malnutrition and hunger and poverty has shifted his eyes. And you think this man will wish you well as he is? This one, just looking at him, the minute I saw him, you know what it reminded me of? Fulani headsmen. That's what I thought. Ha! Show. Women, we need to stop this. We need to be more sassy. Men are very intentional. You to be intentional. You are not Jesus that fight to save the world. Honey, babe, I'm coming to you. It's so lovely to see you. Let me take Rita. Hi, Rita. Welcome, darling.
Yes, hi, good evening.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you. I'm calling from Nigeria. Well, this is such a pathetic story. To me, what I feel women should do, especially this woman, date your class. Even though she dated this guy when she didn't reach the Olympic and all of that. But as soon as she saw she was rising and the man was not trying to move up to her level, you drop him.
That's what
You
men
drop
do.
the man.
They don't blink when they do it.
I mean, you drop the man immediately, no hesitation. Because you have to date your class. Because from the story, the daughter said she tried to run to help the mother, but the man kicked her away.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you have a wife or a fiance that is back from the Olympic that so many people try to go there and they can't reach there. You should welcome her with a kiss and encourage her. But because this is a monkupa, maybe he's
Yeah.
not literate, maybe he's already having insecurity issues and all of that, and did this to this woman. Unfortunately, the only thing they will do to him is either they will give him death sentence or maybe lock him up in jail. And this woman is gone, and she was the breadwinner. So the summary of everything is, women, please, let's work on our self-esteem. If you made a mistake before, like I did before, now I mean, I date my class. If I try to push you and you are not there, I leave you alone. So it's just unfortunate. And may our soul rest in perfect peace. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much, Rita. I appreciate you, my darling. Thanks for joining us. Date your class. So that is the message that Rita is preaching. So because if you don't date your class, those ones that they feel cheated, and some people have the mindset that they feel cheated. To them, life has cheated them. Their parents cheated them. Everybody in their life. People, I struggle with people that have a victim mentality. My son and I are always having conversations around this victim mentality with black people. Victim. Everything, you are a victim. You are a victim. Check yourself. It's lack of accountability that makes you always feel like a victim. You are a victim. Victim. When somebody's always, everything is somebody's fault. It's your parents' fault that they didn't send you to school. It's your parents' fault that you were not born in wealth because your parents didn't make money before they had you. It's your parents' fault that you are in poverty. It's always somebody's fault. You, Unko. What about you? Are you going to take some responsibility at some point? Long suffering, no, they pay. Oh, people are not liking the video. How many likes do we have? We don't even have up to 200 likes, and we have 367 people watching. Please give us a thumbs up. I appreciate you, everybody. Please give this video a thumbs up and share it. Domestic violence ruins lives. It's not a joke. You can see 3 prominent women, world-renowned, celebrated athletes, just gone because of the wrong relationships. I mean, to be fair, Rebecca already left the Mongo Park, but the Mongo Park did not leave him. He came back while she was at home at night. And this time around, he came with petrol. Be careful of people who have got nothing to lose. Be careful. Some people, when they are down on their luck, they'll be like, I will take you with me. Be careful. Dr. Chika, welcome. How are you? Please unmute yourself.
Hi, Auntie B. Can you
Hello,
hear me?
darling. Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm doing great. It has been a long time.
Yes, yes, it's been a while. You
Been
okay?
so busy, but I'm back.
Okay, I'm glad to have you.
Okay. So this topic is really it's sad, and just like you mentioned, it's also women are feeling like handicapped, especially in Africa. You know,
Mhm,
it's something is happening. The men know it's happening. The police is aware, all the security people are aware of it. But the patriarchy in the society won't allow them do anything.
mhm,
So it's kind of a situation of trying to help yourself because nobody will help you.
mhm,
So, but what I just wanted to chip in here is foundation, foundation, foundation. Foundation is everything.
mhm,
The problem with Africa, the problem of patriarchy, the problem of these women being deleted all starts from the home.
mhm.
In Africa, the boys are not raised right.
They are not raised at all.
They are not raised at all, or they are not
Mhm.
raised
They are
right.
not trained. They are
Trained.
not trained. It's the women they train. They
Yeah.
train the
So,
girls and leave the boys.
so in the home, I was just discussing with my husband. I don't even know what we were discussing. I was telling him, if I'm in second year, I don't date first year. If I'm in third year, I don't date second year. I don't date first year. I don't care how old you are, but once I'm above you, you are below my class. If I have first degree or I have masters, you have first degree, I will not date you. I want someone with masters and PhD.
Le bâton.
So it may sound cliche, but I always believe that women in Africa, once you are one step ahead of a man, you are in trouble. And I
Mhm,
don't want to be in that trouble. I don't have the strength and the
mhm,
energy. So all those things that will make you feel so down, make you feel so emasculated, leave me alone and get on your way. So just getting back to how we are raised in Africa. If you go back to your what we call reader in our primary school, it's all about Ada is cooking, the mom is cooking, the dad is watching TV, the Obi is playing football. So it's all about the girls working while the men relax. In Africa, the boys and the men are raised only to go
and bring
make
money.
money.
That's it.
Yes.
And so the one
Once
that
you
doesn't
make
have money, what are you bringing then?
nothing, and just like I wrote in my comment, the things I see on social media these days, they scare me. And the
Hmm,
reason why they are scaring me is that women are getting up. Women are financially independent these days. Women are saying no to the abuse, and the men are not taking it. They are not trained to take it. So I'm so afraid that if we don't start fighting hard, and if we stop training our boys in a way that, they will treat our daughters right, we may have more situation in the future than what we are seeing now. Because
mhm,
there is television, there is social media, they are hearing all these red pills and everything they call themselves on the internet. So that's a scary place to be. So my
mhm,
advocate is for mothers. Just like Sissy mentioned, once we have this kind of issues, you don't see the men.
mhm,
Once you see someone posting, promoting women or talking about how women are not born to be slaves to men, you will not see any comment on social media coming from the men.
mhm,
But talk about a woman that is cheating, a woman that has DNA and the children are not the man's own. You will see a million plus men on the
mhm,
comment area. You don't know where they all came from.
mhm,
So there is something going on. But I always believe, I'm always optimistic that young people now, all the women that come to the social media and say, post me anonymous, my husband is doing this, my husband is doing that. please and please raise your sons not to be your husband.
Hmm.
And that starts from even taking yourself out of the situation. Training people is not all about speaking to them. Children learn by seeing than by hearing.
Yeah, observation.
Yes. If you are that woman that you are there, you say you will stay there. I'm staying for my children. And your children are seeing you every day experiencing DV. They will practice it on their wives.
Absolutely.
They will practice it on their wives. And what that will also do to the girls is that they will be so docile.
Yeah, they will attract a man that perpetuates DV.
Yes.
Like their
And even
father.
when they are in DV, they will not go out because their mother never left. So if we want a better situation, a better society, a better future for our children, we should start acting now. Like now. We have children, we have boys, we have girls. Teach them that this is not the right thing. As a girl, you should not dull yourself because you're a girl. Just like the last speaker said that girls in Africa are raised to be timid. That's true. It's like the more timid your child is, the
That's what they
more
call. That's
earlier
what
she
they call
will marry.
feminine. They call you
Yes.
feminine when you are like that. When you have no voice,
Voice.
you can't
It's like
talk
you
or
are
think for
attractive
yourself.
to men.
Yes, that's what some men like.
Yeah,
Not
you're
all,
attractive.
but the average man would say, wife material, because
Yes.
you are senseless.
Yes.
It's
So,
like your brain has been removed.
yes. So we should train our children to be opinionated. We should train them to be brave. We should train them to have, like, they should aim for the highest career that themselves can carry them to. We are not here to dumb our children down for anyone. If you cannot train your boys to reach to the height that our girls are trained to reach, then let them stay in the village because that's where they belong. And another thing I want to speak about is even the ones happening in abroad, in
Yeah.
obodoyibo, as we call it. All the mothers raising their daughters are looking for husbands for them from Africa. Open your eyes, oh. These people are not raised the same way you are raising your children. There is societal differences, there is cultural
Culture.
differences, there is cultural differences. Like my daughters, if you speak to them, they will speak back to you.
Yeah.
So they are not raised because you're a boy, they shut up. No, they are raised to speak up.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr.
Careful.
Chika.
Let's not raise timid children, and let's raise our boys to respect women. So
Absolutely.
that's
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much. Lovely to see you. Please call again very soon. It's always a pleasure talking to you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Honey babe, my love, how are you?
Hello, Auntie B. Hello,
I have
everybody.
missed you.
Yeah, I've missed you, Auntie B.
I am going to fight Beno and
eh.
the man of prestige because they stolen you from me.
No, please, no vex.
You know I'm very jealous. I don't share. I do not share.
Sorry. I've
Ehen,
just been busy. Every time I
I get
want to
you.
come on the show, unfortunately, I keep missing it, but I'm here. Hello,
Thank you, my
everybody.
dear.
Hope you're
Thank
good.
you.
I think and CC says some very powerful words, and I
Yes.
advise
Sissy
everybody.
was in spirit tonight. She was speaking it.
Fully. She
Yeah,
will
because I
speak.
mean, when you look at the stories
Mm,
of these three women, you'll be touched
yes,
now. It's too
of course,
much.
Auntie. It's a lot.
Imagine all the potentials, all their dreams,
I know.
everything. These people are the people that will probably take their families out of poverty. And
Yeah.
because of Mongo Park, their lives
Huh.
has just been snuffed out.
I know.
Ah,
It is well, Auntie B.
oh,
It
how
is
much
well.
shit.
At least we are talking about it. And I think a lot of what Cece said was fantastic. But what I'm going to touch on, it starts with us as women. I have two sons. And I think all of us that are parents of men, we need to teach our children to do better, especially the boys. We need to teach them respect. My son right now is washing dishes. I have cooked. He's washing dishes. He's going to his dad's tomorrow. Because his dad is like, he will hoover, he will do his
How will you
homework.
not? Eh?
Eh?
House chores is not even non-negotiable.
La la la, and he's 12. That's what I do.
Hmm.
He's going to his dad. He will stay there for the weekend because he's at that age now where he thinks he can answer me back. And me, I don't have time for that. But what I'm saying is that us as women, we are the ones that birth these men. We need to do better and teach our male children, especially, how to respect women, how to be a man without thinking that you have to delete anybody. We have to start with us as mothers. And what I'm realizing is that, yes, we are now condemning it, but that man, that Mongol Park that you showed, he has a mother. How did she teach him that he thought that he can delete this woman? So we have to do better, educate ourselves, talk about it, and teach our children. It starts with us as women. That is what I think that, for me, from everything that I'm seeing, that is where it starts from. And another thing I wanted to say is that all this Andrew Tate thing, yeah, is just gimmick, in the sense that I don't know how African men, or African men, since we're talking about African men, think that you can relate to someone like Andrew Tate. These are the same men that be saying that, oh, we shouldn't talk about Western. This is a Western thing. Anything that is Western, no, we are African men. Why do you think that? Why would you now be following a fad? All this red pill thing, I don't personally understand it. But I
Yeah.
think that, why would you think that your experience as African men is the same as AA men?
Mm-hmm.
Or someone that is based in the UK. Many times when I speak, I'm aware of it. People say, they say, honey babe, you don't understand. You have a different experience. And I can respect
Exactly.
that. So I think that a lot of these men, they are frustrated because I know definitely in the States, most Black women, African American women, they are seriously educated, doing PhDs, doctorates. And so there's a frustration with a lot of the men in the fact that the women are doing well, getting correct jobs in finance, in computing, doing tremendously well. And because of that frustration, they are now sitting at home on YouTube listening to rubbish and nonsense. And they list. Even my son mentioned some Andrew Tate. I nearly gave him one dirty slap. I'm not gonna lie. I said, "Don't you ever." This is a 12-year-old. So it's really scary that a lot of boys, my son's age and older, are listening to this type of nonsense. And once you fill yourself up with negative things, it's going to manifest. So I think that, in terms of the whole disconnect with African men, is a lot of it is frustration, but that's not an excuse. As CC said, you're seeing your wife or your girlfriend doing well. This lady was an Olympian. Why don't you level up? Get yourself educated as well. If you're seeing that your wife or your girlfriend is doing well, anything, if you are not succeeding, I'm going to be very harsh. It's not anyone's problem but yours. The way you are in life is how much, I don't know. I don't personally believe that your situation you can blame on anybody. If you are at a level where you feel you're frustrated, then do what you need to do to level up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of these men have got fragile egos. And because of the toxicity of what is on the internet, there's a lot of hate out there, Auntie B.
Yeah, it's too
Look
much
what's happening in the
for
States.
both
Yeah,
gender. To
there's
be
a
honest,
lot of
yeah,
hate
yeah,
within genders, within
yes,
races. In the
yes,
last, look at what that Tesla guy, the rubbish and nonsense he said regarding the riots in the UK. He was kind of like trying to stir the pot. I don't know if I'm articulating myself well. So what I'm realizing now, that this is a time where there's a lot of hate, and
yeah,
people, because of their frustrations, are tapping in the because of the hate, that, oh, you know what, I resonate with this red pill, I
yeah,
resonate with this hatred. What I saw in the last couple of weeks in the UK, like I said, I was very, very shocked. But it just goes to show, you don't know what people think. People can pretend. And I think because of a lot of hate, people think it's okay to behave like this. In Africa, as you say, it's very patriarchal. It's acceptable. As I said, one lady said in the comments that suffering in marriage is like a badge of honor in
Ah,
in African countries, which I think,
Nana said it. Yeah, Nana
yes,
said it.
very well said, by the way, Nana. But I
Yeah.
think that basically summarizes the situation where, for you, suffering is not a big deal. You must suffer. As long as the guy is looking after your family, he can touch you anyhow. He can give you babu ba. You understand? Which is madness. And
And
I think, mhm,
unfortunately, yeah, honey babe, let
yes,
me just
Auntie B,
interject. You know
no
why?
problem. Hmm.
So I said in my comment that we that grew up in Africa, as
Yes,
Africans,
yes, Auntie B.
Africans, our experiences are different from African Americans and
Totally,
Afro Caribbeans, right?
totally.
Right. And I'm glad you recognize that because
Yes,
I
I
used to
do.
have these conversations with you as well.
Yes,
When we talk
remember,
about
yes,
these women in Divya, I'm like, honey babe, you don't understand.
yes. And
I
yeah,
understand better because I grew up in Nigeria.
exactly. And I
I was
accepted that. Hmm.
I was 30 plus before I came abroad. So all
Yes.
my socialization and exposure is from
Mm,
Nigeria. Do you know what
okay.
I also realized though? We talk about extreme patriarchy because it's
Yes,
not only Nigerian society that is patriarchy. Like
definitely.
there are some even in the West here, there are families that have traditional values. Okay.
Definitely. Definitely.
However, what I realized is that even though there was patriarchy in Nigeria growing up, there was
Yeah,
no hate for women.
exactly. Yes.
It's not hate.
There was no
What we
hate.
see today is pure hate.
It's pure hate, Auntie B. It's pure hate. And what I mean, it's definitely pure hate, I've noticed. And it's a hatred. If this is our forum, so it's a hatred towards black women since we're in this space.
Of course,
There's
we're
a
talking
real
about black men
hatred.
and black women. There's so
Yeah,
much hatred,
it's
and I'm wondering.
crazy.
So I'm looking at Nigerian men, and I'm wondering,
Mm,
Nigerian men, what are you guys doing?
they're not smart.
This is
Well,
not your
they're not
experience. Why are
exactly.
you joining people that are not? They
Thank
don't have
you.
your orientation, your background,
Mhm.
your socialization to be hating on your sisters.
Exactly. How can you hate the things? I always have this opinion that if you hate, whether you hate African men, that means you hate yourself. That's how I see it. Because why would you, as an African man, hate black women? Is your mother not a black woman?
I don't
Is your
understand
sister
it.
not a black woman?
And
Come on.
yeah, when we talk about patriarchy in Nigeria, something I wanted to bring out before we end the show is that
Sure, Auntie B.
the reason why patriarchy has lasted this long,
Mm,
eh, when I hear people of low thinking, low mentality, low reasoning say, "Obìnrin
mm,
lásán lásán,"
yeah,
ordinary
I've heard
woman,
that. I've heard that. Your ordinary woman. Can you imagine?
ordinary woman, they say that
Wow.
quite a lot in
I
Nigeria.
know. I've heard that. I
Ordinary
know.
woman, I
Wow.
laugh.
Hmm.
Anything that exists in society, talking about culture,
Hmm.
tradition, is
Yeah.
because women are contributing to perpetuate it.
Totally.
The reason
Without,
why
yeah,
patriarchy has lasted this long, and it goes back to what Nana was saying about
yes,
how women carry the badge of honor of
yes.
I suffer more than you, I suffer more than you.
Can you
The reason
imagine?
why patriarchy has lasted this long is because women are the ones that perpetuate it.
Thank you, Auntie B. I was gonna get there. It's the women. When you leave your marriage, it's the women that be insulting you. It's not necessarily the men, even though the men have problems.
Men don't
You will not.
stigmatize you
It's
for living a
Thank you,
marriage.
Auntie B.
It is
It is
fellow
the
women that will
women, your
stigmatize
fellow
you.
women, oh,
Oh
that be
yeah.
insulting you.
Yes.
Jesus, it is well.
Yes.
I don't even
It's
want to
fellow
start.
women that will tell you that your marriage didn't work. They will look down on you when your
Yeah,
marriage breaks.
you have a
It's
broken
fellow
home.
women that will look down on you when you're of a certain age, you are not married, you don't
It,
have children, you
thank
don't
you,
have
Auntie
family.
B.
So
It's
patriarchy
women
is yeah, it was, it favors men, but women are the ones that spread it
upholding it,
and uphold it
upholding
throughout
it
generations.
fully, Auntie B. They're the one upholding it. They're the ones that are literally reveling in the toxicity of it. It's so sad that us as a gender, we are not smart. We're not smart at all. Because
Yeah.
as I said, we are the ones that are doing ourselves, if that makes any sense with
It's
what
not
I'm
that we are
saying.
not smart. You know the problem that women have?
Tell me, Auntie
Women are
B.
very petty.
Yeah,
It's in our nature to be petty.
yeah.
And so, how dare you know I'm suffering? You are not
You must
suffering. You are
suffer
just
as
out
well.
there. Ah. So it's out
Yes.
of jealousy and envy.
Yes, you must suffer
And
with
that's
me.
why you see men, they get along, you see them, they will shake
Brotherhood.
hands and they
Look
are
up,
brothers.
look at
But
Brother
women,
Ben.
meet a woman you don't know, you first of all check her out. What's she wearing? What bag is she carrying?
Yeah.
What car is she driving? We are so damn petty.
Can I say something? I started a new role in Canary Wharf. It's a contract role, and when I came in, a lot of the men were like, "Hello, honey, babe, how are you?" The woman, there was one lady, she was actually black, looked at me up and down.
Especially black women.
Yeah, she looked at me up and down, did not say
Yes.
hello. I
Yes.
was like, no way, right?
Mhm,
And I
mhm.
suspect she was probably Nigerian or African. But an Oyibo lady, hello, honey, babe, how are you? And I'm like, you see, I mean, it says it all, mate. Sorry, I've gone into my lingo, but it's quite disappointing. Why am I competition? I'm a fellow black woman. Why would you not, want to welcome me? It was my first or second day, but that is the type of nonsense we're dealing with. I don't know why we hate ourselves. You have Brother Ben that's, they have the brotherhood. They will support each other whether they're right or wrong. But us as women, why can't we lift ourselves up? We really have a problem. But we're
They say, yeah, they say that obirin lota obirin. Do you know what it means? It's
No,
a
I don't know that
woman
one,
that is,
Anthony.
yeah, it means that a woman is the enemy of a woman.
Yes, I totally believe that, Auntie B. Totally believe that. And it's
Yeah.
so sad.
I mean, it plays out, like you're talking about your job, you just started now.
Can you
She
imagine?
doesn't know you.
Yeah.
It's your first day. But she's already giving you, you can feel that negative energy coming from her.
And the funny thing, Auntie B, there's a lot of Asian, Indian ladies there. And there was a Chinese lady. I've got red hair. I've cut my hair and I've got like red. The lady said, "Oh, hi, how are you? What's your name? I really love your hair. It looks fantastic." This is an Asian lady, Now, whether she meant it or not, but the fact that she didn't know who I was, it was my first day, came up to me and was like, "Hi, I work here. If you need any help, let me know." This is an Asian lady. Can you imagine?
I totally believe it.
Yeah.
Even
so sad.
though the love that the Asian person or the white person shows you at work is fake love,
Yeah,
but at
fair
least
it
they
is.
are
But at
showing you
least,
love.
they at least the
But you
fact
see
that
the
she
black
came up to
person,
me.
let's not even get into how
Let's not go
Nigerians
there, mate.
always put each other in trouble in their places of work. They are the ones that they will snitch on their fellow Nigerians. They're the
Totally.
ones that will
So
see.
sad.
There's a reason why our black communities across the world, we are so limited.
Yes, because we
The
don't
hate
have
and
that.
division between us is too much.
Yeah, there's the competition, and I know people are going to say because it's the that thing they talk about what slavery, all this stuff. Fair enough, it did happen, but we should not be
Did you
hating
experience
ourselves.
it? Did I
No,
experience it?
I didn't experience it. My father,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. It's got nothing to do
How
with
is that
me.
your experience? That's the thing I want to ask Nigerian men. When I do that, I'm going to do a video addressing Nigerian men. Did you experience it? You didn't
Exactly.
experience it. You don't even know. So your experience as an African man,
Yes,
as a Nigerian man, is not the same experience as an
as an African
American man.
American. Yes.
It's
Exactly.
not.
Exactly.
So
I
if
totally
an African
agree with it.
American man is angry for whatever reasons,
We understand.
they have, because when you look at the history and everything, I'm not making excuses for their
No, I get
behavior
what
of
you're
some
saying,
of them,
Auntie B.
but it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah,
So you
because
that is a Nigerian man, you grew up in a village in Nigeria. Your father was at home. Your mother
Yes.
was at home. You were raised
Yes.
in a two-parents household. You
Yes.
went to church. You went to
Yeah.
school. What is your problem?
Yeah, what's your business? Yeah. Why are you trying to hang on to the
Why
African
are you trying
experience?
to inherit somebody's
Yeah.
negative experience that you don't even know?
Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with what you said. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, Auntie B, that I think everything is stemming from hate. And like I said to you, there's been a lot of toxicity and hate recently going on in the States and all over the world. And that's why the combination of it is this. Because as you said, there was traditional roles of men and women. There is patriarchy, but not to the extent that it is now. That you feel that you hate your fellow black. This is, as I keep saying, why would you hate a gender that was your mum, that birthed you?
When you mention
your
their
sister.
mom, you see the people that are on social media running their mouth and talking and just talking crap. When you mention their mom, they become very offended.
I know. Like,
how
the
dare
mom
you
is an
mention my
alien.
mom?
Is she
But
not
I'm
a
like,
woman?
your mom is a woman. She was black. Hello.
I know.
Don't I remind you of your mom? I'm black. I'm a woman.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
don't know where hate is coming from, but it's
I
something
don't
that we need
know.
to be aware
I
of.
think the issue is that there's a lot of social media platforms that are
Promoting
basically
it.
that are promoting it. You got
And you
things
know the
like,
funny thing about it, honey
yes,
babe,
Auntie B.
social media and platforms and all these people will do
Yes, Auntie
anything to
B.
sell. It's a
Yes,
marketplace.
it's a marketplace. Yeah, because Telegram is really doing well because there's a lot of an anti, a lot of things on that platform. I
Yeah.
mean, and you know what's going on with
You
obviously
know that the
X.
CEO was
Yeah, I heard. I
arrested the
heard.
other day,
Yeah,
right?
I heard. I
Mhm.
heard.
After
Fantastic. Yeah.
the last London riots that happened, you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and you got people, you got X as well. So there's all these platforms that are promoting the hate, and obviously a lot of, sorry to say, dumb people are buying into it, which is very, very unfortunate. They're
Yeah.
buying into it because they got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
Auntie
you.
B
Thank you
as
so
well,
much.
Auntie
I
B.
love you.
Take care.
Congratulations on your new role. You will
Thank
do
you very
well.
much.
I trust you.
Amen.
I
Thank you,
trust you.
Auntie B.
Just avoid that black woman and do your work.
You know
You'll
me
be
now,
all right.
standard. You know me,
No,
standard. Thank you,
avoid her.
Auntie B.
You're well.
Bye.
It is well. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much, honey babe. Congratulations on your new job. Okay. Brother Ben, we have a brother at last. Brother Ben wants to come and tell us that he's not doing brotherhood though. He has 2 daughters, so he's supporting
Thank
us
you, Auntie
today.
B.
Mhm.
Thank you, Auntie B. Actually, I wanted
Welcome.
to join earlier, but I was driving to work, so I heard all that my sister Cece have said, and shout out to Honey Babe. So, Auntie B, you go forgive me small because I just have to point out one small thing here. You
Okay.
see, this is an epidemic.
Mhm.
These men buying women is an epidemic, and
Mhm.
it got to stop. And
Yeah.
it won't stop if we don't raise our voices, especially those of us we get small YouTube, we fit talk.
Right.
But the first thing I want to point out here is that the women are not helping. And I'll give
Okay.
an example.
Mhm.
You have been doing this job now for, as far as I can recollect, over 7 years.
Mhm.
You've been on this platform and
Mhm.
you are one of those. I don't even know any other women. Maybe if they point me to them, you are the only women I know on YouTube so far who
Mhm.
stay consistent in fighting for fellow women.
Yes.
And you do the best you can at it. And everybody who has been consistent here knows that testimonies are coming that you have really, really touched a lot of lives. You have helped a lot of women just by creating the platform and stay on business. But where I'm going is this. How many of even our sisters here listening now, how many of them are sharing your content to their
Some of
WhatsApp
them
groups?
even they dislike me seriously.
Hmm? No, we got to
Some
call it what it is.
Some of them
We
even
have to
dislike me
call it.
seriously. They say one told me on what's it called on Instagram DM one day say that my she said that the word I like to use the most is what's that word though? I don't forget. Let me try and remember. She was trying to drag me, and I'm like, sis, what's your problem? See, you
Yeah.
know the funny thing, Uncle Beno, I have never
Yes, ma'am.
experienced DV in my life. The closest example I have is my sister that by from DV, but I can see the impact, the
You see?
devastation. My
You
mother would be
see?
alive today if my sister didn't buy.
Yes.
Do you know what
Yes.
it means for a woman who is already in her 70s to be burying her daughter because of DV? The impact is deep. Oh, is very very deep. You guys have no idea. These 3 ladies you are looking at now, we are just looking at them and say where they buy, but you don't know the impact
Yeah.
and the implications for other people, their children, their fathers, their mothers, the people they love who are left to pick up the
Exactly.
pieces. Oh, deep gone.
Exactly.
Oh, deep.
So if we're gonna really make changes, it has to start with us. People need to be sharing this content so that the more men hear this, they will have this awareness. Some of the videos we even let them know that what you're doing is completely wrong. Like whenever I spoke about Obodo channel on my own channel, I usually tell people that look, when you go to that channel, just listen to the people who called in and talk.
They say I'm
You will
teaching women
learn
to
from
leave
what
their marriage.
now their own problem be that. Auntie, continue doing what you are doing, because this is really disheartening, to be frank. And like you rightly said, I have daughters and I have sons too. And me personally, I have never been the type of person that I know they put hand on anybody. And I kept saying it. And just like some of my sister pointed out in the comment that men are not talking to their fellow men and all that. Me personally, in my own private life where I did, if you are my friend, and even if I hear and I say you slap your wife one day, I'm dropping you. They know me. I don't tolerate nonsense, because you can't turn your wife to a punchy bag and then you want to come and have drink with me the next day. That is like me greasing your elbow, say you are doing a good job. No, I don't stand it because I don't do it. But now,
let me
yes,
shock
ma'am.
you. Sorry to interject. Let me shock you. Do you know that a lot of women in this abroad, in the abroad as we call it, I mean in the West, Africa, say Africa, America, UK, Europe, Australia, whatever, name it. A lot of women from African background are enduring domestic violence in the abroad.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And
many of them.
they will not speak up. Some of them that speak up, eventually, when it gets too much, they will speak up and maybe call the police. They will not press charges. They will not follow through for so many reasons. What will people say?
Yeah. I don't just get it.
The day you buy, people will have a lot to say. These people are from Kenya. I never heard of Rebecca before. But today we are talking about her. The day you will buy Thomas CNN, that they will put you on the ground and put sand on you. And you will not be crying, don't put sand on me. I'm Mama Lagbaja, I'm Mama Tamadu. Don't put sand on me. You will know that day what people will say. We will sit down here and talk about you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens with DV. There's no... The journey of DV ends only one way. It's either you go to prison because you deleted your abuser, or you go to the ground 6 foot low jebe.
Yes, sir. And the men that are into DV, we've said, Auntie B, you've done several shows here, and we've spoken variously on this matter here. I still stand on my own point. If you are married to a man, and anytime you are having argument, your husband is pointing fingers on your face, he's getting closer to you, warning you, pointing hand on your face, he's calling you out of your name, calls you, yab you, calls your papa, your mama, everybody. You say, hey, but he never put himself on me. Auntie, he's damn so close. You are just like few seconds away from receiving the first slap. And when you receive the first slap, you still say, oh, he has not done it before. He just mistakenly slapped me. That is you defending him. Soon, that one slap, he go follow with 2 other slap. And one day, blow go begin to attach to and 2. Oh, we are in abroad. If I call police now, the family go say, then why don't you leave? I'm so sorry, my sisters. I know it's hard, but we just have to say it. We can speak from now till tomorrow, teaching men that, look, gone are those days when all those patriarchy bullshit is going on, that your daddy is beating your mommy and you think it's the right thing to do. No, things have changed. And if we talk from now till tomorrow, there are some men that will not even change. And some of their wives are also enablers. There are some men now that once they marry some of their sisters, they already cut you off from the people that your husband was supposed to be afraid to think of before he can even touch you. I don't know if I'm advocating it right, Auntie B, or let me put it this way. When you are married, that you have family, you have brothers, you have sisters, you have people where you come from. Your husband is supposed to be scared of them, thinking of, oh, if I beat this woman, this my wife's brother, or this my wife's papa or mama, the way they will come after me, and that will automatically reset their brain. But your husband have brainwashed you into cutting all these people off just because of his evil intention. And now you are all alone with him. By the time he starts maltreating you, is it your auntie or your brother that you have told that don't come to my house again, no, leave me and my husband alone? Are they the one that want to come to your rescue? Definitely your husband now knows that he can get away with anything. So please, my sisters, you need some backup. And just like everybody, a lot of people have preached here, you have to wake up and defend yourself. You have to wake up and don't tolerate nonsense. I will say it the way it is. Brothers can hate me. It really don't matter. When we say don't tolerate nonsense, it's not like you insulting your husband. No, it's you setting a boundary, letting him know that, come, don't pass this boundary. Don't do this to me. I won't take it. It's as simple as that. Especially for those who have good job. You get work, you get money, you are doing okay. And you know that this man is very aggressive. This is a man who thrives in boosting his own ego, thinking that you are a nobody. Auntie, what are you doing with him? Life have changed. If you are thinking about somebody who calls me, I leave my husband, I do that. When your husband pay you, will that person not live their own life? So please, brothers, they have to do better. But no matter how we are talking on platforms like this, if people don't share the video, if you share it to them for the first time, second time, they say, oh, that woman will get that platform. I don't like how you convince them, say, look, it's not about the woman. Listen to the people who come and tell their stories. MOP do a lot of videos advising men. If you go to MOP channel now, you see so many videos there advising men, teaching skills, advising men how they can have a better marriage, how they can treat their wives better. How many people share those videos? Nobody. And now we all live on social media. And the problem is all those toxic contents, the one that is teaching men to maltreat women, those are the ones that are spreading. They are the ones that are getting all the views, all the likes. The content that are teaching men that, look, treat your woman with respect. Look, don't put hands on your woman. Don't act like this. You have to respect your woman as much as you want respect for yourself. Women won't even share that kind of video. When let's call it what it is. I'm sorry. They won't even share it.
Now, Brother Ben, Shebi, as we are talking now, with all this plenty advice and everything, we still have less than 200 people who have liked this video. You think they'll take their time
you
to
can
like
imagine.
it? We have
and almost 400 is watching.
And 99.9 of them are women. At least the ones that are on the comment section. But they will not like. So what are we saying? 7 years of
it doesn't make sense. We have to spread the message. African men has the capacity to change, but it all boils down to what goes into their ear. Look at our platform now. Everybody advising women. Women do this. Women do that. Hey, women, you have to behave this way. Women, you have to behave that way. How many times do you guys have the balls to say, guy, you to behave like this? There is something MOP used to preach on his platform that, look, how you treat a woman, the woman will model it and give it back to you, which is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But a lot of brothers don't even know that. And just like because I was listening in my car, I heard when you were talking about CC, my soft life sister, that always said that, look, don't marry down. Stop marrying strong good love and all that. I am 1000% in support of that. Gone are those days when we go say, oh, let me manage with this man. He will make it. Look, back in the days, the economy is better. Those men, they are well raised, they were trained properly. The men you have nowadays, they are church men who are on social media looking for what is not missing. So if you see one man now, you say, okay, I think he has prospect, I will manage. And this man you want to do prospect, you want to manage. You are making 50 times more than what he's making.
You're marrying potential that will remain potential for life.
Look, let me tell you, sisters, I'm going to just be blunt with you guys. When you are rich as a woman, even if you are not rich, but you are comfortable, you have good job, good career, you are doing fine. Only about, you can hardly see 3% of men that can stand you. They will promise you, I love you, I do this, believing that, okay, you have money now, I don't have to stretch myself. And if you dare fall for that man, and you see that the man is not making conscious effort, he doesn't have a solid plan. Either you want to go back to school, or you want to learn a trade or a skill, and not just trade and I don't know. If he's not learning a trade that will give him better money, he's not compulsory that he must make more money like yourself. but at least he must make something that makes him comfortable enough not to be jealous of you. A lot of women these days are married to men who are their number one enemy in the home because they are doing better. And it doesn't matter how you please some of these women, some of these men, if they don't have the grace of God, if they don't have the spirit of God to take away the spirit of jealousy from them, when you buy motor, even if you buy the motor Dashan, you buy Lexus, you give the man, he no happy reach bottom. Because as an African man, I'm sorry, I will tell you, if you now one verse, make you not two verse. If you buy Lexus, buy Mercedes Benz, give African man that is not doing well like you, he will appreciate it. But deep down in his mind, he will be thinking, okay, why is it not me that's supposed to buy this Benz and give it to you?
He will resent. He will resent you. He will
So I don't get it.
you.
I don't get it. If you are successful as a woman and you are looking to marry, okay, if you can't find millionaire or billionaire, fine. But don't marry a man that's gonna depend on you. Sometimes our sisters make this mistake. I've seen it in a lot of women. Once
because we have a savior.
Work,
no, we have a savior mentality. That's why.
Once women get better work, they are making good money, they are balanced, they have their own home, everything is smooth. Women usually say, thank God, I'm okay. Okay, if I marry him, we're gonna be fine. After all, I don't really need anything from him. I won't stress him. He doesn't have to do so much to please me. Auntie, don't marry him. I'm sorry to say.
It's potential. They call it potential.
Potential which potential? The economy is so strong now, especially if you're in the Western world.
He will use his mouth to tell you his dreams. But it's one thing to dream, it's another thing to follow through with that dream. Oh. See, as I'm here now, my dreams, you don't want to know. I have a dream of a multi-billion-dollar charity organization in Nigeria where I will have refuge in all the states in Nigeria. And any woman that is going through, and I will have campaign. Let me tell you my dream. I will have campaign on national TV and all local TV stations in Nigeria, social media and everything, etc., where I'm talking about, if your husband is beating you, call this number. We'll offer you support. We'll refuge. Come here, bring your children. We'll train you. We'll give you a job. We'll give you money to start your life. Do not endure domestic violence, because domestic violence will buy your life.
It's just so disheartening.
It's my dream.
Every time we heard the news, every time we heard the news, why?
My dream. I never finish. And I will have this
by grace of God, you will do it, Auntie B.
We'll have this big budget where we'll have that all these women fleeing. After we investigate, find out that they are truly fleeing from domestic violence. We'll set them up. We'll teach them, to learn a skill, learn a business, and we'll set them up so that they don't need to go back. And then we'll also have rehabilitation centers for all the Mongo parks to help them to unlearn, equip them. Maybe if they are angry because they are not making money, how can we help them? So we'll help them and help them to unlearn, give them skill, give them money to set up businesses or whatever they want to do so that they can become men. Because Nigeria is a country that conditions men to believe that if you don't provide, you are not man enough. All right?
Yes.
So these are my dreams. I have all these huge, gigantic dreams. Brother Ben, these dreams I'm talking about, $100 million, I will need it to. Where is it?
By grace of God, God will provide.
Where is the money to do that?
Auntie B, you've started already. You are moving gradually, you will get there.
No, I have the potential to do it. But where is the money? We are talking about potential. When you marry potential, that is what you should put in mind. Bear that in mind. That's my dream. But how am I going to actualize it? It's one thing to
God
dream.
will lead, Auntie B. God will make it happen because you are doing a very great job. It's not easy. Women are going through a lot, to be honest.
Do you know that, Braben, talking seriously now, do you know that even creating awareness, a lot of people in Nigeria, men, do not know that it is wrong for you to beat your wife. Even creating that, they call it sensitization, awareness, both on local TV, whatever, any avenue that people have. WhatsApp is what people use the most. Even creating that awareness alone is enough to let people know that it is not okay for you to beat your wife. Don't beat.
Yeah. Maybe we will do a customized shirt. Some of men not like me, we believe that you don't have to do. Maybe we wear a customized shirt, say, I'm a man, I don't beat my wife. Maybe we should start that campaign.
Oh,
But if
I
I even
love
post
that.
her
I
now,
love
who
that.
go
I
share
love
now?
that. Brother
It
Bon, I
doesn't
love
cost
that.
me nothing. If I
I
call
love
my
that.
graphic man and say, do me a t-shirt, I'm a man, I don't beat my wife.
I love
Maybe we
that.
begin the because I don't get it. The woman that you say you love, you beat her blue, black, and blue. Beat her anyhow. And tomorrow you say you won't come do Kerewa. And
Okay.
TCF go open your show, you can't do the Kerewa. Like really?
It go buy more picking self. Film girl
Eh?
said that if I have money for that, my dream that I just told you that they will use the money to marry another wife. If I give the Mongo Park the money, they will use the money to marry another wife.
You know, lie. It is what it is. Look, we just have to say the truth. I know it's hard to hear. In this Western world, Auntie B, especially in this America, if you are a woman and you are listening to me right now, if you are a nurse, engineer, you are in tech, you are already made, and you go to Nigeria and bring a man that he only has his degree, when he come down here, he's going to start all over. It will take that man 5 to 10 years to even come half of where you are right now. If you're already a nurse or a nurse practitioner, and you go to Africa or anywhere, or you marry a struggling man, even here in America, you marry a man that is struggling, it will take him 5 to 10 years before he can come to anything closer to you, my sister. So
Yeah, I got you. I got you, my brother Beno. Thank you so much. Thanks. I understand you, and yeah, thank you for coming to lead a voice. We've been talking. We don't see any man, but we saw you now. And we know you usually do brotherhood, but today, you are a father. You have 2 daughters that I know of. I don't know whether you have more, but it's 2 of your daughters I know. So yeah, thank you so much, brother Beno. I do appreciate that. So that's my dream. That's my dream. Even creating the awareness, because the awareness is not there in Nigeria. That's why whenever I talk about retirement, I don't UK. My body is here. I tell my children every day, you are on your own. Just finish university, get a job, and get your life. Me, me and UK. Well, I'm here, and my body is here, but my spirit is in Nigeria. Do you know why? Because there's a lot of work to be done in Nigeria. And my son keeps making this joke that diasporans need to go to Nigeria and change Nigeria. Yesterday we were having this conversation. It was so funny. And she and my son saying that, you know what, mom? I think that diaspora need to go to Nigeria, form their own political party and change the country and get rid of all this corrupt politician. I said, I wish it was easier said than done. Rabbi, no, thank you so much. I wish it was so easy. I say elections are not won like that. You don't go and you win election like that. They steal the election. Yeah, so I educate them. But seriously, my dream is, even if it's awareness. I know there are a few charities that do it all around Nigeria, churches, some organization, NGOs do it, but it's not on a grand scale. Here it's because I'm a social worker, and I've been a social worker for over 10 years in the UK, so I'm so experienced. And I know that it's a state matter here. It's not you that will be looking for, okay, where am I going to go? The state will remove you, put you in a place that is safe. But it's all funded, and it's funded from taxpayers' money. You think people don't pay taxes in Nigeria or in Africa? You are joking. If you think they don't pay taxes in Africa, maybe they don't pay on the scale that we'll pay here, because here you have to pay or you go to jail. But they do pay. Businesses pay. But it doesn't reflect in the lives of the average person. So I do have the dream, but actualizing it, that's where we are stuck. So I'm using it to compare when you are marrying potential. If you say he has potential, the difference between potential and actualizing that potential, Ogun, is very long, but it is well. Yeah, we'll continue to talk. Kò ní sún wa, kò ní rẹ̀ wá. Sometimes when I say I'm tired and I see things like this, oh, my spirit comes alive, because it's something that is in me, is ingrained in me, is I'm not angry anymore, like I said, but I'm frustrated and I feel powerless. And I don't like it when I feel powerless. I don't like it. Powerlessness is a state where if you are somebody that is you are driven, you don't like being powerless. I always want to have solution. Everything, I'm a solution driven person. As you are telling me the problem, I'm thinking of the solution. That's how I am by nature. So this powerlessness is a place where I feel very fatigued. I feel very useless. I don't like it. But I know that we will get there by the grace of God. Thank you so much, everybody. Please help us to share this video, like and subscribe. If you are a brother listening to this, you are a man, you have a mother, you have sisters, you have daughters, join us in this campaign. Violence against women in Africa has got to stop. Worldwide, it's got to stop. Enough is enough. If a relationship is not working, walk out. You don't need to take somebody's life. It is not acceptable. It is well. Bingbe, I'm waiting. Oh, send that proposal. Let's get some funding. Yeah. I'm going to retire soon. You know that. So yeah, Nigeria on my mind. No. There's a lot we need to do. We have a lot of work to do. God will help us. Thank you so much, everybody. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe. You know, this lies is between me and you as we are listening. Osato, how are you, love? The Nigerian hoarding mindset wouldn't let them diasporans change Nigeria. People when no happy for you self say you self one jackpot. So you sabi right without your Britico, without your English, so you can write pidgin. Osato, that's nice. Oh, film girl, thank you so much for that super chat. You know I had you. Always. Thank you so much, my darling. Brother Beno, the vessel. 49.99 super chat. Say Auntie B, buy soda on me for a good job. Oh, thank you so much. Coming from a brother, a father, you know. Thank you, Brother Beno. You do brotherhood, but today you stood up. You stood up for sisterhood. And that's how it should be. It should be like this because it's not about gender. It's about what is right. What is right for our world? What kind of world do we want to create for our future generations, our children's children? What kind of life? What kind of future are we looking at? So yeah, I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Brother Beno. And let me read this as I end. Let me read this to you guys. What this woman, oh my goodness. Kai, so many potentials, so many people gone before their time. Why? It's not necessary at all. Give us a thumbs up, guys. Please subscribe and like this video. This is Agnes Tirop. She broke the 100 kilometers. She was a record world holder. 100 kilometers record in Germany. A month later, her husband deleted her. Oh my shit. A month later, this is the man that deleted her. 1 month after breaking a record. In this part of the world, in the West, she will be celebrated. They will give her different kind of awards. Offers will be coming from left, right, and center. But what did she meet up with? Agnes came back to Kenya and they cut her life short. We'll continue to speak. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. I do appreciate everybody that has joined tonight. Thank you, Brother Beno. Thank you, Cece. Thank you, Honey Babe. Thank you, Chinwe. Thank you, Dr. Chika. And everybody that has called Bumi, Amara. I love you. Thank you so much, everybody. And I will see you soon. I appreciate you. Have a good evening. Please like this video and share it. We all need to come together and speak up against this femicide. Because whether you like it or not, God connected us. You are a daddy, or you are an uncle to a female, or you are, a woman bettered you. We can't do without one another in this life. So this hate towards women, it must stop. Nobody has the right to take another person's life. Nobody. We need to speak and condemn it in all totality. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. I appreciate you guys. I love you very much. Remember their names. Please, as you leave, remember their names. The first one is called Agnes. Okay? I don't want you to forget their names because it's important. When you are talking to that person who is in a situation like this, her name is Agnes Tirop. She was only 25 years old. Second one in the middle is called Damaris Mutua. Okay, she was only 28 years old. 2022, she was deleted. And now we're talking about Rebecca. Rebecca was only 33 years old. Remember their names. If you are in a DV relationship or marriage, get out. Get to safety before you can think of any other thing. Safety, because life has no duplicates. Yeah, thank you very much. Osato, if anybody knows about international funding, I've told you my dream. Please link me up. Yeah, you have my email. It's under this video. Is obodooyinboconnect@gmail.com. We'll speak soon. I love you guys. Have a good evening. Thank you so much.